He is the lead singer, producer, multi-instrumentalist, and founder of The Sweet Kill. And now Pete Mills is joining us in the studio right after this.
You're tuned in to AFTERBUZZ TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
We got more bounce in California than all y'all combined. Got more bounce in California.
I mean, hey, let's just listen to this the whole time. And look how great, because we are in California. This is so fitting. Hi, everyone, and welcome to Mini Spotlight, where we highlight awesome stars in music, TV, and film. I am your host, Amy Cassandra Martinez, and I'm joined by, this is amazing. Can we just, yeah. And I'm joined by the fantastically talented Pete Mills.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for having me, Amy.
I'm so glad you're here. I'm also highly distracted by that video because it's so stinking good and the song is amazing. But yeah, I have to read off of my notes here to tell everyone exactly how talented you are. Isn't that crazy?
I've been blessed. What can I say?
Yes. So, okay, there's a lot to talk about. But let's start off with your new album. Tell us all about it, how it came to be, the whole shebang.
It came from a lot of me working, especially on that song, the More Bounce in California song. That led me to work with a lot of labels all throughout my career here in LA. And I was just going I used to be on the stage. I used to play stadiums. I used to do a lot of shows. So I want to create a vehicle for me to get back out there and do that. Mm-hmm. And so all of the works that I've done with all these other artists, I wanted to sort of get myself back out there with all these new songs. And so the song that we're dropping is a big sort of culmination of all of those experiences being in LA for the last 12 years.
And for people that don't know, I've been here almost 3 years now, but how would you describe LA to people that have never lived here?
Seasons don't change. If you listen to the lyrics of More Bounce in California, that is the ultimate anthem. And I think sororities still use that song as their introduction to the new people that are coming in, the sophomore students or the freshmen, right? And also, in that song, it talks about just sort of the ups and downs, the highs and the lows, the police helicopters, and being, on the red carpet. So that would be, just listen to More Bounce in California.
I love that, it's so true. But if you guys have never been here, definitely come, stop by. It's nice here and listen to the song as well.
Yeah.
Right? Might as well. So yes, let's go a little bit into how you got started with music in the first place. The first moment you realized, holy moly, this is what I want to do.
My mom's raised in Venezuela, so I went to go visit where she grew up, and I found Kiss. And then when I was just blown away by this Kiss album where they're standing on the cities and they're all burning, and when I got back to Canada, I was looking for that. So I would take my mom's radio and put it underneath my pillow and just search all night, pretending I was sleeping, just looking for Kiss. And I found Joan Jett, I Love Rock and Roll.
Yes.
And I went to school the next day. I was in grade 1, and I said, hey guys, I found it. And everyone goes, what? And I go, I found it. It's rock and roll. And so that's where it started.
Stop. I see. Yes. Okay. Did you know that Kiss is going on their last tour? Gene Simmons just announced it yesterday.
They'll never go on any last tour. Kiss will be forever.
I agree, okay. But I'm terrified also. Right? He might just be saying that. He's just
saying that for some he's good at working the publicity. Yep.
Yeah. So the first time that you picked up an instrument or that, that really just bit you, the music bug, what was that like?
I went to the guy, I stole $100 from my mom. I paid her back, but I stole $100 from my mom. I was working at McDonald's. I took the $100 from McDonald's and I went to the guitar store and I go, here's $200 and get this bass guitar. Can I get this and return it if it doesn't work out? And the guy goes, no. And in that moment, when I dropped that 200 bones for that bass guitar, I knew that I was not looking back. And that's kind of, because he was so stern about you can't return this. He was just being kind of, ornery for whatever, for the sake of it. And it kind of hit me. And then from 2 weeks later, I joined my first band, Flash Bastard, literally 2 weeks later, because someone got word that I got a bass and they told my friend Dan, and then Dan goes, hey, you got to be in my band. So just happened like right away. So band culture was the synonymous with just picking up an instrument. They were the same. There weren't any separations.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. So, like, going from Flash Bastard to now, you've been through a lot, and that's how Sweet Kill was formed. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
After Flash Bastard, we went from rags to riches really quickly. We signed a deal with Nikki Sixx's label. We went on tour with Motley Crue all over America, and it was wild. We got kicked off of that tour. That's a whole story. That's a whole segment in and of itself. And then when we finally imploded, I met this woman, and she was this hairdresser. And within 1 month, she never sang before, we signed a record deal. And we had such a strong rapport. All these investors were interested in us. And what happened was we had some infighting, and then she moved to Sweden, and she took her life.
Oh, whoa.
And I had all these songs ready to go for her to sing on them. And it was like, I decided that that's what the Sweet Kill is going to be. I'm going to sing those songs. And this whole, and in that point, where it was just around that point when she died, I was sober. I stopped using drugs and alcohol. Mm-hmm. And so that was sort of like a big sort of merger, and that's sort of that's the result is the Sweet Kill, and specifically the song Soul Satellite, because that's what that song embodies, is that old life going away and the hope and the excitement of the uncertainty of the new life, and those two worlds sort of like standing at the precipice. And yeah, so that's what the Sweet Kill is.
See, and there are very few things in the creative, well, honestly, in the world that can really help you express yourself and your feelings in a way that music can, you know? So I think that really just translates. And, I always think that when musicians write songs, when songwriters write songs, they've got to be thinking of like, hey, I know someone else is going through something like this. And when you're listening to your music, there are certain songs that you're thinking like, hey, people are going to be listening to it here? I mean, obviously like anywhere, right? But like when you're writing it or when you're thinking of it, is there?
Yeah, it comes from an emotional jarring moment. It comes, there's a catalyst that happens, and in that moment it starts to flow out, and it usually happens really quickly, and the cipher comes really quick, and then I start to see, as I'm sort of just like picking through it all, like, wow, this is touching in on an overcoming of like some bad relationships, or this is sort of touching in on like moving into a new world, or kind of finding like the hope and strength to get through whatever happens. And like life is the teacher.
Yeah.
And I think Tony Bennett says about Amy Winehouse, he said life teaches you how to live it if you live long enough. And that was a heavy one, because the 27 Club's a real thing, right?
Yeah.
We just lost this year's, it's been a lot of
yeah, it's hard, and for people that lose those people, we all have music to turn to, which isn't it interesting how that all works? But now, what are you planning on doing? Because you have a new album, lots of new songs. So now what? Like what?
Yeah, this last year in 2017 was me just going into the depths of my soul and finding, what do I want to say, and how do I want to say it, and who do I want to reach. So we have so many songs that we're going to be releasing on the monthly, so it's not going to be like one album per se.
I like
we're going to be
that.
like kind of drawing it out for like the until the end of 2018 and then the beginning of 2019, to sort of position ourselves to go on the festival circuit in Europe. That's the goal, because I've done some stuff in Russia and I love it over there. It's like very beautiful. And there's also like the Germany festivals, and my dad was born in England, to be able to play the British festivals would be dope as well. So that's the sort of positioning of all these songs, is to get me back out with my band and reach the world with these messages of like hope, redemption, the darkness, because I like to go into the darkness. I don't want to avoid that, because it sort of creates the need for the light.
Yes.
Rather than being light and everything's good, it's like, no, let's go dark, and then sort of create that mood and set that identification with the audience, the listener.
Now, you're a huge fan of Kiss, which is why we're getting along, because hello. If there's a certain band or singer, like musician that you'd love to work with in the future, who would it be?
Trent Reznor. Yep. Absolutely Trent Reznor.
What about Trent? is just calling your name.
His ability to make thematic declarations for the Gothic community, one would say, or just those that are like into the darkness. You know, he pulls no punches, and he goes there directly. And so his emotionalness that he puts into his lyrics, plus his ability to do all of the instrumentation and the production and the overall thematic approach, I find very uplifting and very inspiring. And I'd love to just be in the room with the guy and just, you know, do a little collaboration. I think that'd be dope.
We'll see. And who knows? Maybe 5, 2, 3, 7 years down the line. You never know. You never know. Where do you want to be in 5 years?
5 years, just hanging out at the Grammys, you know, maybe going up on stage and talking a bit about some of the songs that have reached people.
Well, when you do, please remember us little people, please.
Of course.
Say like, oh yeah, you know, I had tons of fun at AFTERBUZZ. If everyone wants to go ahead and follow you on social media, where can they do so?
It's very easy. It's The Sweet Kill.
Love that.
Like sweet as in, you know, chocolate, candy, but kill.
Yeah.
And the is at the beginning, so The Sweet Kill.
That's awesome. I'm so excited for you, and I love your whole story, and I love that you're giving us songs here and there, so we get to really savor each one and just play them out.
Yeah, like and subscribe and follow that. You know, there's a lot of cool stuff happening. The band, I'm playing with some amazing musicians in LA. They're all women. And,
awesome.
And I like that, you know, although we do have a male drummer at the moment, so.
That's
yeah.
okay.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
He's Italian, so we forgive him.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, geez. And if you guys are able to see him on tour around the world in the future, let us know. Comment down below. You know, this will be on YouTube forever. So thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you for coming on by.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You guys can find me on all social media at Amy Cassandra MTZ, and I'll see you guys next time. And enjoy the Sweet Kill.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.